Hello and welcome to the High or Lows podcast, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in the world of Taraz. I'm Philip Martin, your dungeon master, and with me is Philip
That
one again.
Pick up.
I'm Philip
I can't shape my nails. Listening to you guys.
Well, that's staying in.
I'm Philip Martin, your dungeon master, and with me is Mimbo Wang.
Hey guys.
Next up, we've got Daniel Fletcher.
Hello, hello.
In the middle, we've got Lizzie McPherson.
Hey, lovelies.
Getting towards the end, we've got Laurie Crawford.
G'day everyone.
And last up, we've got ASHMEEDIA.
I genuinely just dropped a D4 couch drop, and now I don't want to move.
It's always a dangerous, risky thing to do. So, previously on the High or Lows podcast, the group had breached a broken door to find a fairly well-furnished room beyond. The room had been guarded by 2 suits of animated armor, so they were curious if anything useful might lie there. They saw a few interesting items in the room, which caught their attention, so most of the group entered to explore. An interesting staff was lying next to a table on a rug, which caught Tweak's eye very quickly. But as he went to inspect it, the rug began moving and tried to smother him. The crew launched into action to defeat this magical rug. However, the table, a broom, and a halberd mounted on a wall also joined the fray. An odd battle was fought against these animated objects, which managed to thoroughly injure Callum, as well as nearly losing Giznat the cockroach mech pilot. However, Chuck managed to pull the mech out of the rug before too much damage was inflicted upon it, pretty much saving Giznat, or at least meaning there was no roll to see if Giznat had to die. Anyway, moving on. After defeating these moving items, most of the group immediately lay down for a rest. However, Tweak was keen to investigate these items. So far, they found a few interesting things, including a staff and some empty ink pots, but an unopened chest lies nearby, which the group is currently a little bit hesitant to open. But as they were having a rest, most of the group heard a skittering sound approaching from one of the tunnels beyond. So they've basically attempted to barricade themselves in behind the broken door. However, Candle has elected to go out and try to lead this creature away, and that is where we will jump in.
He's screwed. Hopefully not, but
I just hope he finds a key out there. If he doesn't get eaten by whatever's chasing him.
we can only hope.
Maybe if I just... Nah. Does anyone know how to build explosives or have any materials for one? Perhaps we could just blast it open. From a distance, of course.
Well, maybe it might be best to try and get old Baracus here to muscle it open. Maybe after we've had a bit of a rest, we're all pretty buggered.
Just imagine the possibilities that could be in that chest. Could be anything.
I was going to say that I think the only chance of blasting this chest open is one of us put a weapon through it. Unless you've got any delicate things that you could pick it with, but I certainly don't.
I don't have a lock-picking kit, unfortunately.
But this is a stone chest. We do have, say, pittons, and a crowbar we could use as a hammer. Just chip into it.
You might also have a hammer somewhere.
True.
Let me have a look to see what I have on me. I just start rummaging through my gear.
You're not too terribly equipped these days, to be fair. You sort of been scavenging up things as you go, so you're not too bad.
I think between us we've got like 3 adventurers packs, I think.
Yeah, you're not as well equipped as standard level 1 adventurers, but you're almost there.
As this is all happening and Tweak suggests that I go through the pack that I got before, and I do pull out a small hammer. It's only a climbing hammer, but it's a hammer nonetheless.
And it's made to hammer in pittons into stone, so...
Yeah, it seems to be made from one kind of one piece of wrought iron or something, so it looks sturdy.
Well, I guess it's a start.
Also pull out a crowbar, by the way, as well. What's in here?
Well, there's a crowbar and a hammer. I mean, we're getting somewhere now.
Yeah, this must have been a Dungeoneer's pack. This is really does have everything, bar a few things. Chuck those things on the ground for now.
Yeah, you're still trying to accomplish your short rest. You're probably only really 25 minutes into it at this point. You've only really found the staff, and you've taken a chunk of that table with you. Is that about right? And a couple of empty inkwells.
Yep.
And some glass shards, I think.
And some glass
Yes.
shards, yes. And there's more glass around, and there's like rubble in the corner. It looks like it might have been some sort of laboratory or something, or little. That's what this rubble came down on.
Or maybe after this rest, I might move some of those rocks out of the way if I can.
Well, I'll go pick up some of those. Go pick up those things from the ground there. Just put my back against the wall and call out to Chuck. Chuck, you around?
Yes.
Do you think you can get one of those messages of yours to our good friend Candle there? If he's within range.
He's been gone for like 10 seconds.
I just want to see if he can get me a whetstone. Yes, Tweak. 10 seconds is a perfect amount of time for him to get me a whetstone if he finds one out there. Or something similar to it.
Actually, know if your particular style of telepathy works that way, does it, Chuck? Do you have to see them
Yeah.
first?
I need to be within a certain distance.
Like, you've got to establish it, and then it's like pretty awesome. But until that point,
Yeah, I have to be within 30 feet to establish the telepathic connection. Then I can talk to them as long as they're within 3 miles.
Okay. And he's not getting any blips, is he? You can't sense him?
I don't think I can sense them anyway. It's not detect thoughts.
Okay. Well, don't worry about sending a message then. I'll get my own whetstone when we get outside. We're kind of just a bit behind this door, and hemmed in at the moment. So I was just trying to save time, and that's fine.
you never know that maybe this person here has a stone that's suitable.
You know, I
Keep
have
an eye out.
seen many explosions in my time, and I must say, whatever did the explosion in here, it wasn't. I mean, we should tread carefully around here. I mean, we have glass, burnt paper, exploded door. I certainly wouldn't want to be anywhere near that explosion.
You can't tell where it came from. I tried to look earlier at the door, and I had no clue.
I should have a look around and see if I can find the source. Maybe I could find some gunpowder or something. I mean, powder of explosions.
While the guys are talking about how to open up this chest and the whole talk about explosions and everything, could my knowledge from a past life flare up?
In what regard?
Well, I get like flashbacks of blowing shit up myself, and I hear the guns and explosives and whatnot going on,
Yeah?
and
Yeah.
so it's kind of triggering like some old what's the word I'm thinking of? Old memories. And it's kind of shocking to me. So I'm just gonna duck outside the room just to get my head into a good
There is no outside.
mindset. Oh, outside the door.
It's blocked. Like, that's like that
Oh,
for a
that's
reason.
completely blocked. Well, yeah, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to unblock it.
Well, I'd stop you and say no. That's there for a reason, to stop the creature getting in. We're trying to have a rest here.
I go find a very secluded area in this space that we're in, and I'm just gonna try and sort out what's flickering through my head.
This is just a single room, so you could probably just go to the corner with the stone bed on it. Which I
Yeah.
think most people have been avoiding that because yeah, they're a bit weirded out by it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to go down that little area and just sort my crap out.
Yeah. No.
Can I investigate the room for the source of the explosion?
Sure. You're just gonna do sort of a general investigation check, yeah?
Yeah, I'm trying to find any residue or anything that could have caused the explosion or where the explosion came from.
Sure.
23.
It does appear to come from this northwest corner, which is rubble right now. The bed is in the northeast corner.
Did it come from inside this room or did it come from outside the room?
It came from inside the room.
Yes, as I suspected. Well, you can't explode an explosive twice.
I'll take
Or
you over
can
that
you?
one. You seem to be the explosive master.
Yeah, I mean, that depends, right?
What was that, Chuck? I missed that.
I said whether you can explode a device twice depends. Traps
Well,
can reset.
I've only ever been able to explode things once with
That
100
seems more of
explosives.
That seems more of a failure of imagination than anything else.
You could be right. Better sleep with one eye open. Well, I guess I'll just finish mending my contraption over here.
Yeah, I think you need a spell slot to do it, right? But
Do
you got
I?
left. I think so. Because didn't they get fully knocked out?
It's free
Yeah.
for a long rest, but spells for a
Ah,
short.
shit! That rug really fucked it up.
Don't you have any?
No, I don't. I'm not just made of spells.
You know, very low level.
I'm all spelled out.
Well, looks like we might have to carry the remnants until you're ready to rebuild.
Essentially, you can rebuild it. You just don't have any magic to push a charge into it to activate it.
Ah, that makes sense.
So yeah, you still can rebuild it. Absolutely. At this point in time, out of nowhere, you hear it psst, from the other side of the door. It's me. I'm back.
I'll get up and start hefting the things out of the way. What's a secret knock?
You didn't come up with one, dumbass.
That's wrong.
I think that's correct.
I think you're gonna have to stay out there. Candle.
We gotta move. I need your help, Rex. We
Alright.
gotta move these bodies.
And I'll start pulling the stuff out of the way.
Bodies?
Bodies out here in the hallway. There's a thing that was coming through likes to eat bodies. We should move them.
They didn't happen to have a key, did they?
I didn't look too hard. I doubt it.
These are the goblin bodies, I take it.
These are the two bodies that were in this hallway in front of the room. Remember how there were two slightly fresher corpses?
Yeah, well,
They're not goblins though.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We never really figured out what they were. I'd go out and drag one in.
Oh, we've already looted these. There's nothing on them.
Look, I let it down the hallway back down the river, but I reckon we move these out a little bit. back in the way we came, and then it'll be interested in that, and we can just move on forward.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. I'll help drag him back into that.
Yeah,
Maybe back
just-
into the intersection or into the room with the stairs.
I reckon back to the room with the stairs ain't that far.
This won't break up our short rest, would it?
It might make it just a little bit longer, but it doesn't really matter mechanically.
Wrong voice, Phil. But yeah, cool.
He basically asked Brax and Callum to help move these two bodies. It's only like 120 feet back to the where you came or something like that, so it's not that far. Hopefully we don't come up against too many more of them things. I don't like them.
What was it?
They call it a carrion crawler. Damn thing, creepy.
Carrying crawler. Are they solo hunters? Or do they
Generally. You generally just sneak around on ceilings, trying to find dead things to eat. But they'll take something alive too.
ambusher? Yeah.
Sounds like we should keep our eye out for him.
I ain't too smart, though.
Is everything okay, Thistle?
Yeah, my head's in a weird headspace at the moment. Do you need help with something?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, my head's always in a weird headspace. But is something troubling you?
Yeah, just when you were talking about like explosions and whatnot, it's like it brought back some old memory or something, and I'm just really confused, thinking, why would I do that? But that's something that I've got to work through. Like I said, do you need my help with anything? Because might distract me from my headspace.
Not really. Usually, people just talk when they're in a bad headspace. You mean the memories weren't your own?
I don't know. They could be. I don't know. Anyway, what's going on? Where's everybody else?
You're not gonna like flip out on us and kill us all in our sleep, are you?
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Why would I do that to you? Okay, you're probably my closest friend here, or the closest thing that I have to a friend in here.
Make sure you tell Chuck that.
I will.
I just saved your friend. I don't know why you've got something against me right now.
No, I love Chuck. He did save Giznat, and I'm very grateful. Well, I guess we could sit around here and wait for the explosion to go off again, or we could go somewhere else after we open this chest.
What if we can't open it?
Didn't think of that.
I could try and smash it open with my quarterstaff.
It is made of solid rock. Maybe we should just keep moving.
Would we be back by now?
Yeah, you can be back.
Well, I think we were going to finish our rest first and then maybe look at the chest, so let's just hunker down for another 20 minutes or so. Make a move.
Pretty cool. Sit next to the chest, staring at it for 20 minutes, trying to work out how to open it.
Roll a wisdom save.
Wisdom, 8.
Yeah, you really want to touch that chest, man. You really want to touch it.
Where did that hammer go? I'll just go over to Maracas and grab that crowbar and hammer. Start towards the chest.
Hey, you got that look in your eye.
I know I can crack it if I just get it in the right spot.
Oh, well,
Here, I'll give you the crowbar.
Ah,
And sigh.
if I see him doing this, I will pick up my shield and weapon and just sigh and kind of walk towards him. Not in aggressively, but just kind of to back him up in case he triggers some shit.
Do I really, really want to open this chest?
Give me another wisdom save to see if you can hold.
9? I just put the crowbar into the side of right next to the lock and try to wedge it open.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check with advantage.
It's not too bad. -1. It was 16.
If you sort of get in there, you probably just like hang. It's a little bit tall, so you probably just have to get your full body weight on this crowbar, just jumping, and everyone can see it happen. But nothing seems to happen for like a little while. But then after a few seconds, it pop, and you fall a little bit. But it seems to be popped open. Nothing bad has happened.
Whew. See, it was easy. Now what's the chest?
You're gonna open the chest.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you see an orb. It's kind of large. It looks like it weighs about 3 pounds. You see a smallish diamond. You see another crystal that looks kind of interesting. It's actually on the end of like a small rope, like a very thin small rope or like a chain or something.
Pendant?
More of a rope though. You see an inkwell with a cork stopper on it. You see 2 books, and you see sort of a nice sort of leather-bound set of what looks to be some sort of tools or something. You also see a coin purse. Well, a purse. You don't know what's inside it, to be fair.
There's nothing over here, guys. Just thought let me take out this junk. And I will reach for the coin purse first. And sneak it into my rucksack.
I'm like right next to you, dude.
Sleight of hand with disadvantage.
And I roll a natural 22. Here you go. God damn it. Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
It's 2. So 11.
11? Okay. Everyone. What's everyone's. Feel like you should all do perception checks.
I'm
Just
just like,
so it's a proper contested roll. Give me perception checks. Anyone that's watching Tweak do this.
I'll watch
be
that
watching.
at non-disadvantage.
That's a natural 20, so that's 26.
You can hear the coins in the purse shaking as he puts it away. Well, not shaking, but like the chink of like little coins.
And second,
moving.
I go for the diamond.
Yeah, I caught sight of that.
I even look it up in front of my eye for a little bit and have a look.
I don't say anything to that, but yeah.
And stick it in my pocket.
My passive perception is 20, so do I see all of this?
I still feel like you should make a perception check. You're kind of distracted. Just because of the absurdity of the situation. Yeah, you're right. Passive perception should see that, but
Yeah.
everyone's a bit distracted.
17?
Yeah, you see everything.
Oh, I just shake my head thinking why.
As I pull out the tools, I'm like, please, let this be something useful, like lockpicks or something. And I put this in my bag.
I
I
poke
don't
you.
even have a bag. I just stick it in another pocket.
I do
Good
poke
sack.
you before you put it in all this stuff in. Well, probably after the diamond. I'm like, you should see if the others need it first.
See what?
Well, first that sack of coins that you chucked in your pocket. Second, the gem, which I presume is a diamond. Thirdly, that thing of tools which is rattling around in your hand.
Tell them there's another diamond in there. You can have it if you just keep your mouth shut.
Oh no, I don't care if you keep it, but I'm just saying if others need it for say spells or the likes.
Oh yes, I suppose, but I am the spellcaster of the group.
No, I'm pretty sure all of us can actually cast spells here, mate.
The most powerful spellcaster of the group.
I have a feeling Chuck might be actually, and I think Thistle's even more than you.
Fine. Well, what's this pendant-looking thing or this gem attached to a rope? What do you think that could be?
Give me an Arcana check.
11.
11. Looks like some sort of focus. You're not really sure. You don't really deal with focus as much, but you think that, like this could potentially be you've seen things like this in shops, but you're not sure if it's special or anything.
Okay. Well, and was there anything else in there? Oh, there's a few bottles in there as well.
Books. There's 2 books.
Books. And I pull the books out.
Cool. And
And
there's an
does it-
inkwell.
And what have I got? Oh,
And
has
there's
it got ink in it?
This one does. You slosh it around. It seems to have ink in it.
I will take the inkwell.
And there's also like a decent sized orb, probably the size of like
Ah,
a
yes.
softball.
And what do I think or suspect that could be?
Yeah, not sure. You're really not sure.
I bring it all over to the group and put it in the middle. Well, I found some stuff in that chest over there. There's a inkwell, which I'm gonna take. An orby-looking thing. Some tools. A diamond.
They did diamond really softly.
Now that you look into the tools, they don't seem like they definitely don't seem to be like metal tools or anything like that. Like it just seems to be more delicate than that. They're not particularly heavy either. More just like you're looking at the thing, it's like straight things mostly. With like things with handles, but yeah.
Like jewel crafting tool type things, or
No. I mean, if you open them, you'll know.
I
haven't
opened.
them yet.
oh, I thought he had.
Oh, and finally, some coins.
What was that? Some
So there's tools. Let's have a look at them and I open them up.
tools, was it? Okay, yeah.
You see various brushes, mostly, and like this is definitely calligrapher supplies. Various sized brushes, and a few other things that one might need for calligraphy. I don't actually do calligraphy. Probably a couple of nice pens with like some different tips, because you can do pen calligraphy or brush calligraphy, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so like a couple of nice ink pens of different sizes and some different tips for them. A few like vials of ink in there as well as some brushes of various sizes.
Well, this could be very useful.
And there's 2 books.
And what did the book say?
What languages do people speak? Give me a history check. I don't think anyone speaks these languages. But for the audience, what languages does everyone speak?
Well, I speak Common, Gnomish, and Goblin.
Cool.
I speak Common, Draconic, Sylvan, and Druidic.
Cool.
Common, celestial, gnomish, and primordial. Yeah.
Common, celestial, and deep speech.
Infernal and abyssal, and what I'm speaking now.
Cool. No one recognizes this language. Oh, no one can read this language. I will allow people to make a history check with disadvantage to try to recognize it.
18.
Disadvantage.
That was a disadvantage. I got
All right.
21 before.
All right. Anyone else get above 15?
I actually got 15 disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Okay, so you all have. So the 2 of you have flashbacks to. Well, Liz, you would have a flashback to something you saw once. But you've heard of dwarves, but you haven't seen a dwarf in a very long time. Other than the dwarf you fought and killed. But you don't see a lot of dwarves.
Okay.
Like they're not common. Maybe Tweak. Maybe you recognize it from some stuff you saw in the junkyard, some scrap, and someone explained that was dwarvish, so you recognize this is dwarvish. Baracus. Maybe you did some battle against dwarves at some point, and you recognize it.
Forgotten war. Yeah.
It's in quite fine calligraphy. There's some you could try to investigate it to get a vibe of what it is. And the other book is blank.
Well, if I could take the blank book. Does anyone want a calligraphy set?
What did we establish that? Like, I can't see ink on paper anyway, so it's all irrelevant to me, really. Or is that something the blind sight would pick up? Not exactly sure how it's going to work in this.
Maybe if I
I think
doll
it
it
depends
the
on the
paint,
ink used.
if I doll it the paint enough, it could be like a braille.
Yeah, I think it depends. Because ink is tactile, and if you're using like a sharp ink tip, like a sharp tipped pen, like that leaves an impression as well.
True. Yeah, good point.
Very cool.
Well, so far I have the inkwell, the books. Well, just the one book. You guys can have the dwarven one.
Yeah,
Well-
I'll take a look at that while I'm resting here. I'm
I'll-
curious.
Take the calligraphy set. The diamond, the coins.
And you've also got a massive staff on your back that you took earlier. Or somewhere. I don't know where you put it.
Well, let's count the coins. All right, guys. Look, as long as you don't murder me in my sleep, I'll share them with you. How many coins are in this purse?
He's fined 12 platinum and 7 gold.
Whoa! I take that back.
Look, I don't mind if you keep hold of it. Just know that it's not all yours.
Okay, well, you guys know that I have 10 platinum and 5 gold.
12 platinum. You can keep the other gold, or 2.
How do you know that? You can't see.
I don't even have to be looking at you to see this. My blind...
Exactly why he noticed it. He's good.
Yeah, so you still have this softball-sized orb. You still have the staff, and you still have this little crystal on a little rope.
What do you suppose this softball thingy is?
So that's the thing on the rope?
No.
Oh, that's the focus, okay.
The orb. It's an orb. It's an orb of future telling.
I mean, what colour is it? Is it clear? Is it... this would be me asking them, if anything.
Yeah, I think it is just essentially clear.
It's black.
Go on, tweak. Wish into it. Your heart's desire. Go for it. See
I
if this
wish
thing
to
is
get
powerful.
out of this hellhole.
Tweak,
Nope, doesn't work.
Tweak disappears.
No, I
Okay,
think
well,
that was my wish, but I wasn't looking at it.
is anybody going to put this in their rucksack?
Yeah, I've never seen this holy symbol before. I don't know about it.
I never got a rucksack, did I? I mean, I've got a bedroll, but I don't have a rucksack.
I don't know. I thought at this point we all had bags. But maybe you'd just been using your Steel Defender as a bag.
He has a sack.
Has been using the Steel Defender as a clothesline.
Okay, well, I'm going to put this in my inventory, and you guys can have the dwarven book. I've got the coins on me. I've got the diamond, and you guys, somebody hold on to this orb thing. It could come in handy.
Before we do leave, though, I might just head over to that corner of the room where the explosion originated from, and where Tweak said it originated from, and just start moving some of the rocks to see if there's anything intact underneath.
Yeah, give me an investigation roll. Like, you can move the rocks easily enough. It's whether you sort of move them strategically to find something.
That's a 1.
Not really finding anything. More broken glass.
I'll take a look at that. What Tweak thought might be a holy symbol. Try to get a bearing on it.
It's just a crystal on sort of like a short, thin rope.
It's a pendant.
Looks like you could hold it in your hand or maybe even wear it around
Is
your
it like
neck.
a scribing thing? A scrying thing, I mean?
Do I think that might have some religious meaning?
Doesn't say. Don't give me a religion check or Arcana or history.
There was this graphic novel I used to really enjoy called Charmed. It's about these three witches.
It's a 6 for me.
Yeah, you're not sure. You're not sure what this thing is either. It doesn't look particularly fancy or anything, or like particularly embellished or ornate.
Could I check it out at all?
Sure.
So I asked Baracus if I could have a look at the holy symbol, and you said either history or religion, was it?
I mean, you can do a religion check to see if it's a holy symbol, or you could do Arcana or history.
I actually rolled a 17 for religion.
It's not a holy symbol.
Okay.
I don't know where you guys picked holy symbol up from.
I know, somebody said it, and I was like, whispers right around.
That's how it goes sometimes. No, it's not a holy symbol. It looks more arcane than that.
Okay. Well, that's cleared up.
Well, if there's not much more to do in here, safe to say our short rest is probably done by now. Let's move on.
Yeah, as long as everyone's sort of written down what they're carrying. So who's carrying the big softball-sized orb?
I'll carry that.
Are you still carrying the staff?
I am carrying the staff, yes.
And you've got the diamond.
I have just a staff, which is an arcane focus of just a normal staff I've written down, and I have the diamond, and I have the coins, and I have the ink pot, and I have the tools, the calligraphy. I got it as calligrapher's supplies.
Okay, and there was 2 empty ink pots as well. Okay, cool. As long as everyone's got.
Oh
all
yes,
their
I got
stuff in
those too. 2 ink pots that are empty, and now I've got a full one.
there. Yeah, you're. So just got a very odd collection of things now, and I think your staff would just be strapped to your back or something.
I've got. Should I put ink pen down, or should I just assume that the calligraphy supplies will? Have
Calligraphy
them?
supplies have brushes and pens and a few more vials of ink as well, like different kinds, like specialty inks. Whereas the inkwell is more just generic ink. Like the calligraphy supplies, I think you'd have like just a couple of different colors, maybe a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, a little bit of what would common color ink colors be back for that time? I don't know. It's not a time; it's a fantasy world. They can
Definitely
be
not
whatever color we
blue.
want.
Blue, definitely not.
Blue and red and purple were the most expensive ones, I think.
I think
Purple.
there'd
Yeah,
be-
purple and blue are really hard.
I think you had to kill shellfish. You had to like grind down shellfish to make purple. It was weird.
red wasn't too bad. That's just bugs.
But I think there are a few colors. We don't have to be too specific. But you have a little bit of color, and it's probably enough that they could probably match them. And again, it's a magical fantasy world.
I
They don't
bet
have to-
brown was easy to come by.
Let's not go
Smells-
there. Let's
smells
move on.
fun.
Well, if no one has any objections, I'll hold on to the pendant.
Sure.
I'm just going to straight up use my second wind because I'm still low health because no hit dice to roll, and that's a 10 health back.
Okay.
Hold a 9.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do now? Yeah, the rest is done.
There's only one way to go, the other tunnel, isn't there?
There's 2 ways to go. The left or the right, isn't there?
There is 2 ways to go.
Oh, that's right, it was splitting off and yeah.
Well, from the direction you're going, it's left or straight.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like to do?
But-
And how would you like to do it?
But straight would lead us back to the stairs, wouldn't it?
No, straight would lead you to you'd have to turn right to go back to the stairs.
Okay, yeah, good. Because technically there were 3 options there, you only listed 2, so I was just
Yeah.
checking.
Right is definitely back to the stairs, and you probably don't want to go there because you're trying to lure a carrion crawler there rather than to get to you. and then there's left or straight.
Can't tell which way looks the most travelled.
You can do a survival check.
16?
16. South, but barely. To the east, there looks like there's been a bit of a cave in, like some of the walls are sort of buckling and pushed in. Doesn't look particularly unsafe, it just looks like there's been a bit of damage to there. So it looks like because of that, people just take the easier route.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd mention that to the rest. Maybe it's worth going straight. Looks like the left has a few more cave-ins, and the more travelled route seems straight.
Yes, we should probably go the more traveled route. Maybe civilization ahead, is that what we're looking for? Let's be on our way, I guess. Who's going to carry my machine? All right then, I'll carry it.
Look, if you don't mind me dropping it when we get into combat, I can drag it behind me, but I'm not that strong.
I'll carry it. It won't slow me down too much.
All
I'm
right.
in the
Well,
back anyway.
appreciate that. Here's a copper piece for your troubles.
I don't need your copper pieces. We left so much copper back at that farm. I took a couple myself, but I don't really need them. This is all good. You're a little guy. You owe me one. Something. I don't know. Anyway, let's move.
Yep. I'm gonna take point with anyone else if they want to. I take it, Thistle, you'll be lighting a torch, so you might want to stick near the middle or the back.
I could go back into spider form and go ahead for you guys again.
Up to you.
Can't you, like, turn into a bear or something?
Maybe. But I think in this area, like, the stealth that I get from being a spider is more efficient than acting like a bear down here.
I mean, you're not that much more stealthy than me, I don't think. But the dark side, I think, is the best thing that you get from that dude.
What about, like, a cougar or something?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll bet you make a great cougar.
If only you knew. Okay, I don't remember if I've seen a cougar in my travels, so I'm just gonna go back to spider for now.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think at your level you can. I think Wolf Spider is about one of the best you can do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
you need one more level, I think, to get
Yes.
your, like, things like crocodile and stuff like that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Alright, so you guys see me go back into my spider form, and I start the scuttle ahead.
I'll go with you. No one should go alone.
Giznat's coming with me.
Okay, so it feels like you've got Thistle and Callum in the front, Tweak and Candle in the back, and Chuck and Baracus in the middle.
Sounds like a plan.
So you start moving south. Doing anything special as you move, or just moving?
Just moving ahead.
All right. So this opens up. You go past the intersection, the crossroads, of sorts, and you keep on going, and you it starts to open up into quite a large chamber, pretty much square. And along the east and western walls, you see some braziers as you enter. It's probably about 90, 100 feet across, fairly large as well, compared to a lot of the other tunnels you've been through. In the middle, there's a stone platform about 20 feet across, again square. It seems to be crumbling and in disrepair. There are skeletal remains everywhere. Just skeletons, bones, all over this room.
Is
Is there any way
any
to determine whether or not they would rise?
You could. Probably not for you.
Oh, okay.
Other members of the party, maybe.
are any of the braziers still warm?
No, not that you can see. I mean, as you went
I-
in, none of them are lit. You'd have to go up and investigate.
Are they far? Like, I mean, are they just near
One
me?
of them's quite close. One of them sort of just like as you enter the room, like sort of 20 feet away to your sort of to forward and to the right on the wall.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up on the brazier.
Wait, is that closer towards these bones?
Bones are sort of everywhere. The bones seem to be sort of more sort of around the middle. It's not like it's like piles and piles of bones. It's just that there's bones scattered throughout this room. They look fairly badly decaying and old.
Okay, I think we've kind of got to go through this room, or at least investigate it. So I will kind of step in a bit and
Is this where we found the carrion crawler thingy?
further back, I think. Divine smite, divine sense. Sorry.
Okay. You step a bit into the room and you do your divine sense. And you do sense something here. It's not malevolent. It's not something that's going to kill you. It's almost like there is some sort of ghostly energy here, but it's not. It's neither
Yes.
consecrated nor desecrated. But there is sort of some sort of ghostly energy in this whole room.
And are the braziers warm to touch?
No.
Cold?
Yes.
We're just walking in here. We don't want to fight. If you can understand me, leave us be.
Didn't hear anything in response. So as you move into the room with your 60 feet of dark vision, you can see that. So UK sort of came in like the north from the northern side on like the western side, but you came in through the north. You see over on the eastern side there is another tunnel going north, and as you progress further in beyond the in the southeast side there is another tunnel going south, and there are these two big braziers on each side, the east and west side. So you've either got tunnels or braziers for the most part. And it looks like there was like there's a lot of broken wood and stuff in this room as well. It looks like just seats and furniture.
Bit of a grand hall kind of thing.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, we want to go up, I suppose. We can try and find somewhere.
So the room itself has a high ceiling. I mean, yeah, what are you guys doing?
So it's only me and Callum in there at the moment, or have
Oh,
the
no,
others joined us?
Definitely Baracus and Chuck are. Theoretically, Tweak and Candle could still be waiting outside, but Baracus... Well, Chuck might not have entered, but Baracus definitely has.
Well, I did
Okay.
touch a brazier.
I am
Oh, yeah.
definitely outside.
Alright, well, Candle's waiting at the back with you. Yeah, it's not like knee high with bones or anything like that. There's just a healthy scattering of bones everywhere. It looks like at some point a lot of people died in this room.
Can I have a look at some of the skull bones and determine are they all of the same race?
Okay, give me a medicine check.
Medicine. 20.
20. No, you recognize that some of these are goblins. You've seen goblin skulls before. And you suspect the other ones must be dwarves.
Oh, shit. There's been a big goblin and dwarf showdown in this room, I think.
And they're all as old as the last ones?
Yeah, the other ones generally in the hallway that you've seen, the smattering of bones from time to time.
Yeah.
And will I know how long it takes to become bones like that? A rough idea.
The better
With
question
my
is, does
enormous
Phil?
intellect.
I think it varies. It varies based on but skeletification takes a while, and then for bones to even become more decayed beyond that would take. So I think we're talking like 50, 100 years, probably older.
And it being in a cave as well, which could preserve them.
Yeah, like
Come on, Phil,
could
don't you know
easily be
these things?
100 to 200 years old. And you're not really. The goblins didn't really talk about the history down here. They just didn't really like to talk about it.
Okay, well, there's not much flesh on them, so I dare say this was. Oh, if somebody could read that book. Maybe that book. Did anyone pick up the dwarven book?
Yeah, I've got it. Do you think there might be something in here?
Perhaps we
Yeah.
we looted a very old wizard's trove, and it could be and I got calligrapher's supplies. So
Oh,
perhaps they documented what happened here in these walls.
I also forgot. There's also bits of scrap armor metal all around, particularly around the edges, but also just all, like there's bits of scrap metal and weapons everywhere. It looks like at one stage there was. Look, actually, give me perception checks or investigation.
I'll be looking at that. Let's go.
Chuck is definitely staying outside.
15.
19.
Okay, so yeah, it definitely looks like there was once a whole bunch of animated suits of armor in this room, and then you notice looking over to the southwest, you notice that there are two more still standing, and Callum probably wouldn't notice this actually, so Thistle would notice it. There are two bodies over in that corner as well,
Are they fresh?
fresher than the bones.
Can I scuttle over and do a medicine check to see how they died?
Yes.
And how long ago they died?
You want to scuttle over to the bodies and see how long they died? They're over. You can see two suits of the armor that you had to fight earlier in there. Like they're sort of in that range. They're about 20. They're about 20 feet from those armor.
Can I stealth it? So those armors can't see me?
It's not really how stealth works. So you need something to hide behind. So you need to create something to hide behind that might fool them or something like that.
I don't think it's worth it, Thistle.
Well,
You
they
see
have
my head slumped.
They have backpacks on.
Oh yeah, that makes it all the well worth it. They got backpacks on.
I mean, if you can get to it without... How far away were you when they activated last time, Tweak?
I
30
wasn't.
feet.
Yeah, about 30 feet.
Well, if we can get the backpacks to us without going within 30 feet, I think that would be a win.
My
How far are they
mage
from
hand.
me? Oh, you have a mage hand? Okay, well then.
Or maybe
It's
between the
30
both of
feet.
you, that's an extra 5 pounds you can lift or
Two
drag.
bags.
But if we take the backpacks off and it moves in front of them, do you think it could activate them? Perhaps.
Maybe.
Did it feel like it was a kind of proximity thing last time? Whoever.
I could just like stand back 60 feet and shoot a ray of frost at them the whole time.
It's like, these
change
two individuals. So one appears short, only about sort of 2.5, 3 feet tall, and one is just normal human height. They seem to have some armor, a pack, and have weapons that have fallen by their side. So they seem to have made it a little bit, at least as far as this, in this dangerous place, essentially.
And I'm guessing this armor looks a sight better than the one I'm currently wearing.
Oh no, it's leather and hide.
Okay, so it might be better, but it's
I
leather
think
is
it's
leather.
still metal.
There's metal scattered on the ground from other
from other seemingly from other suits of
Possibly.
animated armor. Now that you can see these two over in the edge.
Well, perhaps we could maybe like shoot them from afar and kite them in. At least we'll have a few hits before they reach us.
Be much help, but yeah, it might be better than nothing.
It's better than just going in there and getting your head smashed in.
Yes, certainly.
I'll
most
step
things
back
are.
out of the room.
You guys start a firing line. I'll just stand ahead of you.
Does
Or stand to the
anybody-
side so I don't give them cover.
Can everybody fire from range?
Not really, to be honest.
If we're gonna start a fight, I'm gonna use my bonus action to start up, because not Twitch. This is still a spider, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna start up telepathic communication with her.
You took one of those slings, did you not, Callum?
Yes, but I can't particularly use it awesomely. I can
No,
only
they
see
don't,
as far as I can see.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not standing anywhere near you with that thing.
I don't think I'd be able to shoot at them anyways until they start moving. At least then I can get some sort of trace on them.
Well, you could probably hear the impact of my spell. Any case, I'll stand around 60 feet away from these animated armors.
So they're basically in like on the southern wall on the western side. There's two of them standing there, and then on the northern side, on the western and eastern side, you've got these tunnels going north, and on the southern side, on the southern wall on the eastern side, you've got a tunnel going south. So you guys came in this northwestern tunnel. So you guys are just gonna sort of fall back to there and it'd be about 60 feet away from them.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, so you guys can essentially roll initiative, but it feels like this is actually probably a good place to end. So we'll jump back in next time, I think. And you guys can defeat these armor and see what useful things these individuals carried. That's it for this episode of the High or Lows podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at High or Lows with underscores between the words, or you can find me at Feepster.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is one of the best ways you can support us. You can also join the discussion on our Reddit and Facebook pages, or even our Discord server and maybe play some games with us. Links can be found in the description below. Special thanks to Sirenscape for the background audio and Alex McPherson for providing the opening theme. I hope you can all join us next time as we continue on our adventure.